me your name.
My name is Gladiator. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
They said you were a giant. I shall cheer for you.
At my signal, unleash hell. What we do in life, it goes in eternity.
Well, I have a guest. This is Skipper joining the picture here. And yes, I am going to be reviewing the movie Gladiator. Since Gladiator 2 is out, hey, why not review the first one? Since I think we have some younger audience who is watching the probably horrible second one before the first one. So I'm going to review the first one, hoping they see my review on this first. And they will watch this one first. Please. So now on to a commercial.
From the American Gladiators come the official action figures.
Here comes Turbo!
Laser, Gemini, Nitro, all your favorites, all in your face.
Let's do it!
All the action,
Oh, man!
all the excitement. It's all yours.
You had it, Nitro!
With the official American Gladiators action figures, you
Are the Gladiator.
action figures in playset, each sold separately. You put it together.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that commercial for the American Gladiators. I figured, since we're doing Gladiator, why not show off the old American Gladiator toys? Very different concept. They didn't actually die. They were just cut from the show if they got hurt. So it was a very nasty show. They also didn't make money off those toys either. Well, the creators and producers did, but none of the actual gladiators themselves. I just figured I would just show that as a commercial for just a little bit of fun. So now the movie Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe. This came out in the year 2000. So I call this the decline of the movies. Well, it was the start. 2000 did have some good ones, though. It did have Rules of Engagement, 13 Days. Okay, fine. It had good dramas. The Patriot was 2000. Scary Movie was 2000. That was okay, fine. That's a comedy. Oh, you didn't like it?
That was bullcrap. Stupid.
It was a spoof.
Still stupid.
There was also Road Trip. That was a comedy. You never saw that either? That one is worth checking out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that good that came out that year.
Anything that I would know?
I don't think so. Return to Me wasn't bad. That was a romantic comedy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that came out that year that was worth talking about. I know like I said, there were a lot of dramas. Okay, so Legend of Bagger Vance is also on this list. Where the Heart Is, Mission Impossible 2. I do have a beef with that. I'll get to that in just a second. And also Left Behind, starring Kirk Cameron. And believe me, I think his parents would like to leave him behind because that guy has got some major issues with him. Sorry, Candace Cameron. Your brother sucks. So anyways, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Remember the Titans. So those are the movies that I'm going to mention that came out in the year 2000.
What was the number one?
The number one movie is very disappointing. I now have movie poisoning. Well, okay, the number two movie still gives me movie poisoning. Mission Impossible 2 somehow beat out Gladiator. And I just gave away if I like this movie or not. But anyway, so number one, believe it or not, it was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Can you believe it? How is that movie number one? I didn't hate it, but how is it number one?
It made a lot of money.
But, all right, whatever. So Gladiator was number 3, and this is the movie I'm reviewing is number 3. I'm really dumbfounded. I pretty much gave it away if I like this movie or not. So whatever. So anyways, Russell Crowe plays Maximus. I almost said the villain's name by accident. So he actually is a general who then becomes a slave, who then becomes a gladiator. Very interesting turn of events. And we all know Russell Crowe from Mystery Alaska, L.A. Confidential, Cinderella Man. Really? You've never seen Russell Crowe in anything?
Yeah, he looks familiar. I just don't know in what.
Okay, good. He looks familiar. Okay, that's fine. So now we do have Rascal over here. And yes, Rascal, Commodus is next. And he is played by Joaquin Phoenix. And I think this guy actually got his start by having a minor role in Full House many, many years ago as a kid. Who DJ was babysitting for. It's the famous episode where he gets his head stuck between the railings, and they tried to get his head out with butter, or they put butter on his head, tried to slide him out. So that's one of the things I believe he was in. You'll have to look it up, but I'm almost positive. I did read that, but I don't know if it's true or not. So let's see. So he was in Ladder 49. He was in Signs. He was in the new Joker movie, or Joker, and now Joker 2. I mean, no, wait a minute. You would have seen him in that Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line.
Which one? Oh, yeah, the old person and the new person.
I think the old person.
Oh.
Okay, so Joaquin Phoenix, we pretty much covered everything he was in. And he plays the really insecure son of Marcus Aurelius in this. And he is looking to be the next emperor of Rome. His dad had other plans because he didn't think that he was quite fit to be a ruler. So obviously this doesn't sit well. His father, Marcus Aurelius, treats the general, Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, treats him like his son. So obviously there's going to be some jealousy problems there. Also, Maximus dated Commodus's sister, Lucilla. So that created probably another problem because she still does love him and her husband did die. So there is some other problems there too because Marcus Aurelius said to his daughter if she was a male, he would make her emperor with no problem. I'm sure Commodus knows this, so he's pretty much getting castrated in several areas of this movie. So obviously he is a very upset little man. So, and then there's also some other characters in this. Proximo, which is played by Oliver Reed. He passed away during the making of this movie, sadly enough. Richard Harris plays Marcus Aurelius, and you may have seen him in Harry Potter. And he was also in some TV movies as well. He was also in the cast of Monte Cristo. Lucilla, who is played by Connie Nielsen, she was in Basic, she's in Gladiator 2, and she was also in a complete bust called Mission to Mars. That movie production just should have stayed on Mars. It should have never entered this planet whatsoever. So anyways, moving on. So I pretty much gave the story to this movie here, in some ways. So obviously, Commodus is told that he's not going to be the emperor of Rome. So he decides to pretty much smother his father. And when General Maximus is told about this, he does not bow down to the new emperor Commodus. So Commodus tries to have him killed. He gets out of it, tries to save his family, but he is too late. So he falls asleep in a field trying to starve himself to death because he would rather, obviously, his family died, he'd rather be with them in the afterlife. So they capture him, make him a slave, and then he becomes a gladiator. And that's as far as I'm going to ramble on here. So I am going to show the first clip of this movie.
You see that map, Maximus? That is the world which I created. For 25 years, I have conquered, spilt blood, expanded. Please don't call me that. Come. Please. Come. Talk. 5,000 of my men are out there in the freezing mud. 3,000 of them are bloodied and cleaved. 2,000 will never leave this place. I will not believe that they fought and died for nothing. And what would you believe? They fought for you. And for my name in years to come. Will I be known as the philosopher? The warrior? What would you have me do, Caesar? I want you to become the protector of Rome after I die. I will empower you to one end alone. To give power back to the people of Rome and end the corruption that has crippled it.
Well, here's the beginning clip that I'm going to show you. There were so many to choose from because this does get exciting right off the bat. You do see a battle with them in Romania and with this interesting beastly-like fellow that is the leader of the Romanian army that does get ripped to shreds because he's got this big thing of bear fur instead of armor. So, nice job, guys. So, anyways, so obviously this is after the battle here. And Commodus showed up after the battle. Of course, he did not fight in it. So, obviously, Maximus here is going to be the leader of Rome and then give it back to the people. I'm sure Commodus is going to understand. I'm sure he's a very understanding person. So we will meet this pathetic creature in the next clip coming right up. I will show you that in just a second.
Fine. You will not be emperor. Which was the older man is to take my place? My powers will pass to Maximus. To hold in trust until the Senate is ready to rule once more. Rome is to be a republic again.
Well, I didn't actually show the part here, but obviously Commodus is very hurt. So this little pathetic creature here ends up killing his very frail father. I believe he smothered him in a pillow. So, oh no, I'm sorry, he did not. It's when they were hugging, he put him close to his chest and suffocated him that way. It's been a little while since I have seen this. So now, Maximus here was told that the emperor passed away. When he put the two and two together, did not take the emperor's hand, which I don't blame him, and he just sort of walked away, but that is sort of being a traitor in a way. So Maximus is sent to be killed. So let's find out what happens. Remember, this guy was a general, and a very, very good one. So obviously he knows how to fight. So I will show you that scene in just a second.
Blessed Father, watch over my wife and son. Listen to them that I live only to hold them again. At least give me a clean death. The frost. Sometimes it makes the blade stick.
Well, this was an epic fail. They did not even come close to killing him. He asked for a clean death, and pretty much when he asked for that, that was his only way out. So he did get out of this. That's the good news. Bad news is he did not get to his family on time. His son was unfortunately trampled by a horse. So, yeah, ooh, that does hurt. So unfortunately, they were crucified and then burned. So he goes there, and like I said, he tries to pretty much die on his own. So he is captured, and we will show you the, I don't know what you want to call them, slave traders, whatever you want to, however you want to call it. The point is, he is now a slave. I think he would have chosen death in a second. So I will show you that clip in just a second.
Don't die. They'll feed you to the lions. They're worth more than we are.
Well, this is where he ends up, in, I believe it's called Zachubar. This is supposedly a province of Rome. So this is where the gladiator, this is where slaves go, this is where he has animals. And this is kind of a small coliseum. So this is kind of, if you are a baseball fan, I guess you could say this is like the farm system to the Roman Coliseum. When you have good gladiators, you get, I'm not going to say called up, but you get noticed and then you go to Rome. So that is kind of how that plays out. So I know you're thinking, well, they're gladiators, they're going to die. Well, yes, that is true, but some of the good ones, this is how you become free. If you become good enough, you win the crowd, and then you win your freedom. Very, very hard to do, I'm sure. So we will now meet the ugly fella, Proximo, who now has these gladiators. And believe me, I would rather take a vacation to Laos than be in this place. So I will show you that clip in just a second.
I search. Yellow. Good.
Well, this is Proximo here, so he is getting these gladiators ready, and I guess you can say this is sort of like a practice round. So I really should have read up on this if this is the way that they really did it. I'm assuming this is somewhat accurate, but it does kind of remind me of the way that some professional sports are today. So there's kind of a mixture in this movie. There's, I guess you could say some of it is like a hockey or baseball farm system, maybe mixed with a little bit of WWE. In some ways, the gladiators have to get over, so they bring in some of these retired guys. So, but now there's another side to this where this is not rigged. This isn't fake. This is there was some type of scripting where people were supposed to lose, but they did not. They went the other way, which could make you or break you. So this was interesting. These people are fighting for their lives. So, what would you do in this situation? You're kind of thrown into this. So there's some interesting costumes in this.
Throw you at the people so I can leave.
Okay. So now there's some interesting costumes in here. There's one guy that's dressed up as like a buffalo. So, no, I'm not going to make that joke because I will just get yelled at. So we'll just say that he looks a little bit like Jada Pinkett Smith. So I will show that clip in just a second, and you be the judge. It would be funny if Will Smith did watch this some off chance that he did see this. I don't think he'd find it funny, and yet do I care? No. I wish he would. So I will show that clip in just a second. Well, this is the smaller Coliseum, so this is the buffalo head that I was telling you about, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of the clip here. We can't go too far because I found out that who does this again? Is it Universal? Yeah, they might be a little bit of a fun police, so we do have to be careful. So this is just an idea of the whole battle scene here. So, yeah, it did get a little bit gory, but so far, Ridley Scott did make this really entertaining. So now we will show Commodus and how he kind of abuses his powers in so many ways. So I will show you that clip in just a second.
Embrace them tight.
Have you ever embraced someone dying of plague, sire?
But if you interrupt me again, I assure you that you shall.
Senator, my brother is buried. Leave your list with me. Caesar shall do all that Rome requires.
My lady, as always, your lightest touch commands.
Well, some people just don't like gore. Well, this is the emperor here with Gracchus, and Gracchus seems to like to challenge the emperor, which, in my opinion, is a good thing in politics. You don't want yes people around you all of the time. So now when Gracchus does interrupt him, and he's pretty much trying to improve the sanitation because people are dying of plague. So the emperor is ignoring this problem. So now what he does is he turns his power on Gracchus and pretty much says if he interrupts him again, he's not going to fire him, but he's going to kill him. This is actually a cowardly act. Some people might say this is him being tough. No, this is him being a coward because he can use his power against him like this. Instead of listening to him, he's going to pretty much kill him or put him in prison. This is an act of a little pathetic coward. So this is the emperor at his best, being an idiot. And now that it shows, the senator's trying to kind of exploit that, and he's not going to let him. So, yes, Commodus is a very pathetic little man. So, now we're going to go to the most overquoted scene. Unfortunately, I'm going to show it. I wanted to show the headless horseman getting decapitated here, but I was told it might be too gruesome for the audience, so I decided to not show that. Don't worry, it isn't blood, it's just jam. But I will go to where Maximus does say the famous lines, "Are you not entertained?" I know it's overused, but for some reason people love this quote, so I'm going to show it in just a second.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Well, this is when Maximus does his famous line here, and he seems to throw the sword into the stands. What an interesting souvenir that they got. I just hope nobody actually got hurt. People complain about baseballs. What about a sword coming at them? Well, at least there was no texting in these days. Well, so I will show the next clip of him at the Colosseum because they seem to get, I don't know how this exactly works. I don't know if they got a letter or something. Obviously, they did not get a phone call or a fax. So now they are going to the Colosseum for the first time. So I will show that scene in just a second. Well, this is a pretty cool scene here, the Battle of Carthage. So the Maximus' side was supposed to lose this, and they ended up taking what was theirs. They decided they were not going to lose. They were going to work together. And of course, the Emperor said his history is hazy, so once again, a guy in power that doesn't know anything. Well, doesn't that just seem to work out well? That seems to happen in today's in today's world, with not just, I'm not just talking about people in power, but people on TV as well, are usually fed information. They just pretend to know things. So, now I will show the next scene here, where the gladiator reveals himself to the Emperor. Now this will be interesting. How will he get away with this? He has his legionnaires there. Obviously, Maximus is going to die in this scene. But let's find out.
You do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
How dare you show your back to me? Slave! Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
That's all right.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Well, this may have had the Emperor crap his pants a little bit. Now, Oprah Winfrey would have liked the opening scene to this because they were throwing bread into the crowd, and we all know that Oprah loves bread. You can tell by her waistline. So, anyways, what? An Oprah joke? Why am I getting... Okay, I will send Oprah an apology letter. Oh, hi, Rascal. Well, maybe she should send her fans some, too, because they could not afford the gift tax on the cards that she gave away. So, anyway, I did find the bread part pretty cool, because I think they really did do this, where instead of selling stuff in the stands, they would kind of throw them up in a slingshot. And these are good loaves of bread, too. This is not the junk you buy today at Walmart. So this scene here, obviously Maximus showed himself to the Emperor, and probably made him pee his pants, like I said. You have a question? So he shows himself to the Emperor, and he does not kill him because little Lucius had to show up and ruin the fun. So yes, he pulled a Bob Vila and just ruined the fun. So the Emperor lives, and so does Maximus, because he won over the crowd. They cheered for him, and right away he became more powerful than the Emperor of Rome. So little Commodus is castrated once again. So I will now show the next scene where Maximus now fights Tigress of Gaul, and the Emperor has thrown a Vince McMahon at him. He's pretty much really trying to end his career. Does it work? This part is going to make Siegfried and Roy really, really upset. And I think they stole one of the tigers from Mike Tyson's house. And I will show you that scene in just a second. We're not going to show that then. Well, I'm not going to tell you exactly how he gets out of this one. You're going to have to see this scene for yourself. But I think Mike Tyson's going to be mad when he finds out his tigers are missing. So now there are 2 tigers here. That's probably all that's left in the wild today, thanks to humans. So I'm not going to tell you if he kills this guy or not. I'm going to say that Maximus wins, but does he kill the guy? He gets a choice, yes or no. What way does he take? You will have to find out. So I will show the final clip in just a second. And then, unfortunately, King of the Toilet Chair does do a review on this with a lady. It's a very interesting review, because let's just say there's a little bit of an argument. But I will show the next clip first, and I will show you that in just a second. Well, this is the final scene. As you can see, he did get. There was a little. Unfortunately, there was a trap here. So this part here did remind me of the movie Braveheart a little bit. So I'm not going to tell you what happens here, but obviously he is just bombarded with those Legionnaires. So you can just unfortunately you're going to have to see the rest of this movie for yourself. So now what I will do is I will show you the wonderful Roger Ebert and the movies because Siskel is dead. So I will show you that in just a second.
Savage beasts in that scene from Gladiator. It's one of 5 new movies we'll review this week, and I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Joyce Kohaywick, film critic for WBZ-TV in Boston.
Our first movie is Gladiator, and this one is a real disappointment, a movie that's been photographed in such a dark, dingy, and drab visual style that the energy just drains out of every shot. At the beginning of the film, you want to see some excitement. At the end, you want to see some daylight. As the movie opens, Russell Crowe plays the victorious General Maximus, who's chosen by Emperor Marcus Aurelius, played by Richard Harris, to end corruption in Rome. It's quite an honor, but the Emperor's son Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix, gnashes his teeth with jealousy.
I pause. We pass to Maximus.
By a vengeful Commodus and is later made a slave and transported to Africa, where he comes under the power of Proximo, a manager of gladiators, who was played by the late Oliver Reed, who died during the filming of this picture.
Win the crowd, and you'll win your freedom. I will win the crowd. I will give them something they've never seen before.
Gladiating is Maximus's ticket back to Rome, where the Colosseum is run like a Roman version of professional wrestling.
Caesar, he's come to give you
Maximus becomes the all-vanquishing hero, and that leads to a showdown with the insecure Commodus.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the north, general of the Felix legions, loyal servant to the true emperor Marcus Aurelius.
Even though Gladiator was directed by Ridley Scott, who's famous for his special effects, the film has a murky look, and the Colosseum, partially created by computer animation, looks especially unconvincing. The actors do what they can, but the dialogue undermines them, and sometimes the parallels with the World Wrestling Federation seem almost deliberate, as when a tribune announces, Caesar is happy to present the only undefeated champion in Roman history, the legendary Titus. Give me a break. One other thing, Gladiator thinks that when the Romans wanted somebody to live, they signaled with thumbs up. Actually, live was signaled by a thumb inside the fist. An extended thumb in any direction meant death. But nobody in this movie knows this, and that's good for Maximus.
You know, who cares? I don't think it matters. It's hard to even know where to begin here. I thought this was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I thought this was one of the best movies of the year.
Ever seen?
And you make this film
Of the year?
Of the year easily. You make it sound frivolous. There's nothing
is.
frivolous about this movie.
This doesn't have any depth. It
This
doesn't have
film
any
is
juice.
eloquent. The story grabs you in the
come on.
beginning. It is visualized in a way that Ridley Scott is known for, where he reinvented the future in Blade Runner. He gives us an authentic, fresh take on the past here. It is not murky, and wherever it is murky, it serves the battle sequences.
It is very,
Russell
very
Crowe, an actor of tremendous, charismatic, towering power. He has a kind of intensity and eloquence that we haven't seen, I think, since Richard Burton, and he also reminds me of Anthony Hopkins. And the characters here, Joaquin Phoenix, Commodus, the complexity of this character. The man is a monster. He's the monster he knows that his father is going to become.
It's my turn.
But
Commodus
we feel
is
sympathy for
absolutely
him.
transparent compared to somebody like Nero in Quo Vadis, played by Peter
feel
Ustinov.
sympathy
My
for him.
heart broke for him. This film succeeds
I thought he was a
in every
douchebag.
way, on every level, and I have to say I'm shocked at what you have to say about it.
Absolutely doesn't. Did you see Titus?
Yes, I love
Titus
Titus.
shames
What?
this movie.
No.
Let me talk. Titus shames this movie. It shames it. It shames it in the look, in the drama, in the characterizations, in the performances, in the depth.
I like it though with the
Very
other guy.
familiar with Jean
Gladiator Titus and her work, as a matter of fact. It's a very unique vision, but it certainly wasn't as dramatically compelling as this. And the characters didn't have this kind of complexity. And the language here, you cannot make fun of the language. It was extraordinarily
I
compelling.
actually
Within the
prefer
first
Shakespeare's language.
5 minutes, I was writing things down because
Oh,
it was so.
you've got to make fun.
This is no Technicolor toga party held on some Hollywood back lot. This is a fine
We have a
piece of
major
filmmaking.
disappointment. And
We have a major disagreement here. We certainly do.
Well, this is King of the Toilet Chair here, arguing with this lady over here, and apparently they did have a little bit of a huge disagreement on this movie. Now, King of the Toilet Chair, I think he was grumpy because his toilet chair filled up and he needed it to get emptied. What a gross job that is. What he said is this is a murky movie, just like his toilet chair tray. And, and also, he said there wasn't any light. He said that, I'm trying to remember, oh yes, and he said that there wasn't any juice. Obviously, he drinks a lot of that mixed with a lot of Pepsi. So, obviously, Ebert did not like this. She did like it, but apparently, from what I was just told, that I forgot her name already, she's from Boston. So, I mean, that would explain it. She's probably a Patriots fan. So she had sympathy for communists? Did I? You heard it, I didn't. Okay, that is a yes. So that I strongly disagree with. I don't feel any sympathy for that guy at all. Because he is what you call him a...
douche.
There you go. So, I disagree with Ebert with this. I thought this was a great movie. I saw this in the theaters with my dad. This was actually recommended by our world history teacher, Mr. Gifford, to see this movie. So I took him up on it, and I saw it the weekend that he told us on a Friday, so I saw it obviously on a Saturday. And me and my dad both liked it. I actually ended up getting this, I believe, on VHS. So, this is a movie that I do strongly recommend, and I believe it's on Paramount Plus. I could be wrong on that. But like I said, I really strongly recommend you watch this before you see the second one that looks like a giant piece of garbage. So, I know Denzel Washington is in the second one. I don't care. It looks horrible. It looks really unrealistic. The two rhinos in the one scene look like a cartoon. This is so much better. I like the dialogue. I like the characters. I like the writing. And I thought Ridley Scott did a nice job directing this. I also did like the side characters. I forgot to bring that up. Hagen and Jadu, I believe his name is, the bald African-American actor. His name is Dejan Hondasu. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. So, he actually does a good job. He's in the movie Amistad. So if I did have to grade this movie, I would give this a very strong A-. And I believe, I don't know if Russell Crowe won an award for this, but it's like Toilet Chair Man said, he did get a nominee. I'm not sure
Nomination.
if he won or not. A nomination, yes. So this is one that I do strongly recommend. And like I said, please watch it before the second one. So please comment below if you like this or not. Is this your favorite Gladiator movie? And also, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching.